Welcome to the British History Podcast Wrap-Up Show. As always, I'm Benjo.
And I'm B.
Welcome. This is Season 1, Episode 19, but for y'all, it might be, 17?
No, it's Season 1. It is the wrap-up show for Season 1 episode.
But we skipped a few.
Yeah, so it's like the 17th episode.
I literally just said that.
Okay,
anyway,
whatever.
Today's episode
is
Tomato. Britannia's Emperor.
Britannia's Emperor.
Oh, and Merry Christmas, everybody. We got a little Christmas present here.
Benjo, thank you so much for the Christmas gift.
It was Santa.
I mean, Santa. Santa brought me that, or you did?
No, Santa brought you.
Yeah. My producer here was nice enough to tell Santa that I wanted this for the podcast. So now this is a permanent addition to our podcast studio.
And when we need to point to any cities, places, areas, for example, Hadrian's Wall.
Look at you remembering. Look at you. We're going to use a drumstick. It symbolizes Benjo. Right there. Benjo, you had a good Christmas?
Yeah, I had a great Christmas.
Man, it was awesome. How about this? The addition this is cool. You got everything you wanted? Got some golf gear.
Oh yeah, awesome golf gear.
Yeah.
Rangefinder, so a bunch of new golf clubs.
Right. Well, Benjo, I'm excited, to use this break time to catch up on some wrap-up shows.
Yeah.
We're overdue for it. Benjo, I just want to recap a little bit from the last episode. If you recall, the legions marched on Rome. The British legions marched to Rome, and they had a morale boost. They had ejected their governor, and then they marched to Rome to complain about the Roman emperor Perennius. You remember that?
Yeah.
He wasn't the emperor, but Commodus had kind of put him in charge. Remember?
Yeah, and then they had a big cocky boost and everything.
Right. Right. Do we need our mics? I mean, we good?
Oh shoot.
We're good.
Yeah,
we're good. So anyway, that all happened. This next episode, as the last one, does deal with a lot of stuff that happens on the continent. By continent, I mean down here and below. This is not on the island. I mean the continental Europe. Okay.
Is Britain a continent?
It's an island off of the continent, but it's not on the continent. Okay.
So like all the
Cuba is an island in North America, but it's not in North America. You know what I mean?
Or Greenland.
I want to say Greenland is split between Europe and North America. Or maybe that's Iceland, one of the two. I want to go to Iceland one day.
Fun fact, Iceland is covered in green grass and Greenland is covered in ice.
Right. I know. It's ironic is what we say. Anyway, so
or goofy, that's the
yeah. So all right, so the legions are so cocky because they basically kicked out their governor, and they went and they made Commodus basically kick Perennius out. You remember that? So they're cocky. So before they even marched to Rome, they declared a guy named Priscus as their choice for emperor. Basically, all the way from way up here, they think they're going to go down to Rome and tell the leaders in Rome who the new emperor is going to be. And so the Commodus had actually given Perennius to the legions. What do you think the legions did with Perennius, who the legions hated?
I mean, killed him, I'm guessing.
There you go. You got it. Extra credit. So anyway, the legions, when they are marching back from Rome, they come back with a new governor named Publius Pertinax. Publius Helvetius Pertinax. And Pertinax, we're just going to call him Pertinax. Publius Pertinax. He'd actually been retired. The legions they tried to set Pertinax. They actually, so they get back to Britain with Pertinax, and they try to make Pertinax the new emperor of the entire Roman Empire.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, they're so cocky, man, Joe.
Oh my.
I mean, they're acting like their poop don't stink, you know. So here's what happened. They come back with their new governor Pertinax, and they say, we're making him emperor. Well, what do you think Pertinax did? Pertinax, we're making you emperor. What do you think he did?
I mean, I'm sure he acted surprised, but I guess he'd take the job. Would he not?
You know what he did? He declined, and the ones that tried to make him emperor, he punished severely.
Wow, that's so weird.
Well, so he probably didn't want the stress of the job, right?
Okay, but punishing the people.
I know.
That's like.
But maybe he felt like if he didn't punish them, the Roman people would think that he was good with this potential overthrow. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of.
I know what you mean.
You know? So he punished them.
How, like, was it bad punish?
Yeah.
Death?
It says severely. Jamie said severely. I don't know what that means. But then the lead said it looks like just this back and forth. So then the legions mutinied on him, and they killed his bodyguard, beat him up, and left him for dead. But
wait, this is Publius?
This is Pertinax. Yeah, Publius Pertinax, yeah. Publius Pertinax.
Okay.
So they beat him up and left him for dead, but just like any movie, kind of like Die Hard, they didn't finish him.
Oh.
They didn't finish him, so what'd he do?
Wait, what do you mean? Like, he was still alive and good.
He was still alive, but injured, and the Britons didn't finish him off.
Okay, so I'm going to think he got to safety and pulled out some kind of guerrilla tactic to kill all of them.
Well, he came back with a vengeance. He came back strong. I don't know if they were guerrilla tactics.
Fun fact. You're just talking about Die Hard. Die Hard 3 is called Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Right.
Sorry.
This is why I thought Die Hard, you would relate to this. So he comes back with a vengeance. Then the legions become even more hostile. Finally, he was forced to resign in the year 187.
So what happens to him after that?
I don't know that, but apparently they spared him. They left him for dead, and they didn't finish him off the first time. You thought they would have learned.
And they became more hostile.
They became more hostile, and they forced him to resign. But it sounds like he was lucky they didn't kill him.
Yeah.
They just kicked him out, you know. So we don't know who his replacement was, but then we know who the replacement's replacement was. And his name was Governor Albinus, and his name wasn't Publius Pertinax. Okay, he was an aristocrat. Governor Albinus was an aristocrat, like a wealthy guy from North Africa. And remember, he's just the governor of Britain. The emperor is Commodus, Marcus Aurelius' son.
Yeah.
Although there were rumors that he wasn't actually Marcus Aurelius' son and that he was the bastard child of a gladiator. Why that popped up, I don't know. But Commodus was dopey. He was a coward. He was spineless and simple, easily corrupted. You remember what corrupt means?
I'm sure. Like you steal something?
Well, kind of.
Bribe.
Bribe government officials, you know. He was cruel and he became worse. A lot of people back then, I feel like their insecurity was they just were super cruel to people. Knowing that, hey, you know, you catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar. So,
or you catch more honey than a fly.
Right. So, you know, it's risky. You be cruel. If you were ever not in power, they're going to be cruel to you, you know. Yeah. But anyway, he became a gladiator, Commodus did. But it sounds like he was really a coward because what he did was, this is where I was laughing earlier, and I said, Benja, you're going to like this. It was scandalous because his fights weren't fair.
Well, I thought you were going to be talking about Publius.
Well.
Okay, say that.
I didn't think you were going to think Publius was that funny. But this is why so Commodus would fight wounded men. He'd fight amputees. He fought ostriches and giraffes.
What? That's so weird.
I mean, what kind of lunatic fights wounded men, amputees, Yes, ostriches and giraffes.
Did somebody drop him as a baby?
Maybe so, man. Maybe so. I never dropped you. That's why you're good like you are. Anyway, he literally thought he was Hercules reincarnated. Made people call him Lord.
Oh my.
And Jamie says that he tried to prove his invincibility on January 1st, 193. So, like, I don't know, almost 1970 years ago or whatever.
That's New Year's Day.
Right.
Coming up.
And so finally, Rome had enough, right? Jamie says his Praetorian prefect, you remember what the Praetorian prefect were like the Navy SEAL bodyguards of the Roman leadership, especially the emperor. They tried to poison him the night before. He was going to fight and prove he was invincible in the arena, in the Colosseum, I guess. But he didn't die. It only made him violently ill. So his wrestling partner, Narcissus, finished him off by strangling him. Look, dude, you're not dying. You're like Rasputin here. We're just gonna kill you. So he's dead. He did. He did.
He gone.
He gone. So Rome. So they proclaimed a new emperor. The new emperor was the Praetorian prefect was Pertinax, Publius Pertinax.
The one who refused
and got so mad that he punished. So they made him a new. The Rome then made him the emperor.
Oh my! What?
I don't know. Maybe he felt confident enough then.
But why would Rome still like him though?
I don't know. Because he was lucky. Remember, he was lucky not to get killed
by Rome.
You never turned the light on, actually, about BTW.
Oh.
We're good. Hey,
BT Dubs.
Hey, y'all. Look, don't comment below.
Wait, okay.
There we go. Look, one comment per person below about the light. All right.
Like I said, it causes us sleep apnea.
You said that?
Yeah.
Anyway, people are watching this for the content anyway. So anyway, we won't mess up the light ever again. Or do you want to start over completely? Yes. Or can we? All right. So Rome quickly learned what the legions already knew about Publius Pertinax, but it seems odd. Rome was fed up with them, and they tried to assassinate him, but it was because he tried to elevate the Senate and restrict the bodyguards, like the military bodyguards. Like in history, there's always a balance between the military and the elected leaders. We don't see that so much anymore. But like in places like Venezuela or somewhere, sometimes the military just takes over a government completely. So anyway, but it sounds like he was trying to like bring in the Senate more, which I would feel like would be more democratic. But the Roman leaders had enough, and they arranged for his assassination. The year is
193.
Right. So then they did something shocking. They put the empire up for auction. They basically said, whoever pays the most can run this place.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was shocking back
then. The rich is just the most wealthy person.
Right, and not to say that was shocking in history in some at least indirect form, that like the richest person would come in and rule, but the way this happened, and with Roman organized society being so disciplined, it does seem like that was shocking. So anyway, they put it up, and so they put the empire up. Julianus, Senator Didius Julianus, I swear his name's Didius Julianus, was the highest bidder, right? But 4 emperors claimed. So like in Rome, they gave it to Julianus, right? But 3 other emperors claimed. In Pomonia, which sounds like that was North Africa. They proclaimed Severus, Septimus Severus, right? And in Syria, which is like Middle East, they proclaimed Pessinus Niger. And in
Is
Britain,
that what Niger's named after?
Maybe. I don't know. And then in Britain, they proclaimed Claudius Albinus, right? So was Albinus governor? He was governor Albinus. So the legions proclaimed him as emperor, right? The legions in Britain, they just keep declaring their own people like they're hot stuff, you know. So anyway, so the what does that say? So okay. Anyway, they decided that they were in Rome. They decided, look, Julianus, who was the highest bidder, forget him. We declare for Severus, the guy from North Africa, right? Well, Severus said, look, it'd be smarter for me to ally with one of these other ones than try to fight a battle. So Severus offered Albinus, the British governor who wanted to be emperor, he offered him the title of Caesar, but he was like of all of the Roman Empire, but he was the junior emperor. Yeah. Okay. So Albinus accepted, and so London was his capital. So we're obviously going to be talking a lot about London.
London, where is? Oh, it's right there.
Right there. So Londinium is what they called it at the time, but Londinium was his capital. Londinium. So anyway, I'm going to give you two guesses as to how this co-emperor relationship worked.
Okay, I get two guesses. You said.
Yeah. Did it work well or did it not work well?
Well then basically, I think it didn't work well.
It did not work well. People sharing power. Can it work well? Yeah. But it more often than not does not.
Is that more bonus extra points?
Yes. For what? Are you keeping track?
Oh no, because remember earlier you gave me like extra points for.
I did give you extra points. Yeah. So Benjo, anyway, Severus sent agents to assassinate Albinus, but they were unsuccessful. Right? Albinus comes from Britain to the continent. Right? So he marched on Gaul. He had allies in Gaul or France, Spain area, and he made contact with a guy named Lupus, who sounds like they think he's the same guy who eventually became governor of Britain.
Yeah,
they're not 100% sure it's the same guy, but there's a guy named Lupus. Anyway, Albinus was very successful against Severus when they first battled in 196, okay? But then came the year 197, okay? It says that year there is a massive battle in Gaul. Dio said that each side had 150,000 men. 150,000.
That's a lot.
Do you know how much 150,000 people is?
That's like
Texas A&M Stadium is like 115.
That's like, well, how much is our stadium?
Arkansas?
Yeah.
Like 75.
Oh. Well, that's like if you and me, that's like you and me 75,000 times.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. You're doing the math.
Just putting a picture in y'all's head, okay?
Right. We need that. We need that visual, Everybody knows what 75,000 groups of two looks like.
What's that?
Those were notes.
Notes? This don't look like no darn notes.
You're silly. So anyway, there's this huge battle allegedly between 150,000 troops from on either side.
Yeah.
Britain, on the continent in Gaul, there's this theory, Benjo, that a lot of these troops did come from Britain, and that would have meant essentially they would have brought all these troops from Britain to the continent if there was 150,000 troops. And there's this theory that in what did I say, 197? In 197, that there was an uprising, and I'm assuming I think they said at the wall. So like in Britain, because all these troops had gone to the continent, but as historians go, that historical theory has been debunked. That can happen from time to time.
Yeah.
Everybody had a consensus about this one idea, and then it's proven wrong. You know what I mean. So and they thought they saw it from inscriptions on the wall, like there was some type of battle,
like almost like a caveman writing it.
Kinda, yeah.
Again, just putting a picture in your mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more sophisticated than a caveman, but it turned out to just be.
You get the gist.
You're right, but it turned out to just be regular maintenance on the wall.
Yeah.
So anyway, the moral of the story is the British probably didn't experience the same level of chaos in the Roman Empire Civil War as folks on the continent did. They probably experienced some level of chaos from way up leadership, but they didn't directly feel it. So anyway, back to the huge battle, right?
Yeah.
The huge battle that was alleged to have occurred between 150,000 men versus 150,000 men. In theory, most of those would have been British soldiers. All we know is that after a fierce battle, Severus's side won, and Albinus didn't survive, but we don't know how he died. All that buildup. I mean, you would think. You think about 150,000 people.
I'm thinking about it right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's 300,000 people coming to a battle in like the last 2,000 years, or at any time in history, and just that's all we know. That's all the details we know.
Yeah.
Is that all Jamie knows, or is that all he wanted to give us?
I don't know. The deets aren't always so important.
They're not always so important. You're right. General theories are more important. I agree with you, Benjo.
Well, we got a Arkansas game to go watch.
We do.
Game hasn't started yet. What's your prediction for the game?
I'm going to say Arkansas by 10.
I'm going to say Arkansas by 14.
Yeah?
Oh, wait. A magic trick. I pulled this from here.
Oh, my gosh.
I've been Benjo Smith. Been so good having you. Remember to smash that subscribe button.
This is my producer right here. Love this guy. I've been B. Smith. Till next time. Don't believe